Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back. Jamie here today. I'm going to talk about Saw 3D, the final chapter, which was released in 2010. Directed once again by Kevin Gruett. Because of his contract, he was forced to do this instead of Paranormal Activity 2. And I gotta say straight up, this is the worst of the series for me, no doubt about it. It's got ridiculous characters, and it was supposed to be 2 movies, but Lionsgate basically forced them to put it into 1 because of the low box office and, Paranormal Activity dominating and all that. I gotta say, it's just so many problems with this. Where do you start, man? I mean, literally, the best part of the film for me is the opening and the ending. Everything else, it just bores me. It really does. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. I'm going to try not to rant too much and keep this an actual review. But yeah, let's go. It starts with the 3D title credits, and we get the events of Saw 1, which is pretty cool. I do like this opening. And we see Gordon crawling out of the bathroom. Gordon's finally back after 7 years. They basically spoiled this throughout the marketing anyway. Carrie Elwes was doing interviews and all that. Yeah, I'm back for Saw 3D. So it was obvious he was going to be alive. And we've been calling this for years on House of Jigsaw. We're like, yeah, I bet Dr. Gordon's a secret apprentice. He's been helping this whole time. But yeah, he crawls out the bathroom and he burns his foot on this pipe, and then that's all we see of him until later on. And there we go to the public triangle love trap, and there's a girl who's been using both guys, and basically Billy comes out and he explains the rules. Either to kill each other or they gotta kill her. Brad and Ryan are the 2 guys, and there's the 3 saws. You either gotta push it towards each other or keep it in the middle and split her in 2 basically. But even Billy's got a distorted voice, but originally inside the script, this was supposed to be a flashback with John watching over what's going on. But yeah, there's some bad acting here, man. It really is. It's so over the top. We're breaking up with you, Dina, and all that. And Brad and Ryan do survive because eventually they pull the sword in the middle and she gets cut through. And we see all this 3D effects and the pink blood, man. Jesus Christ. Pink blood all over this show. I know it's because it's 3D and everything, but still, it just ruins the film. It really does. From there, we go to the aftermath of Saw 6. Hoffman getting out the reverse bear trap, and Jill panics and hides, and he basically comes out and he's trying to bandage his face up a little bit, and he takes the reverse bear trap and he goes to his hideout where he's been setting everything up. I mean, this is a cool theme. We see Hoffman basically stitching up his own face while he's listening to the news of at least 7 survivors from the zoo game. This is something I didn't know until recently because the film does not explain this, but Jill goes to Eternal Affairs to report Hoffman, and there's a time gap here. It's 2 months between this and the start of Bobby's game, which I never knew because the film never explains it. But I guess it sort of makes sense because Hoffman's face needs to heal a little bit. Back with Jill inside Eternal Affairs, Gibson, this guy is so goofy and annoying, man. What the hell? We go from amazing cop characters like Rig to this guy. This guy's so goofy and annoying. What the hell? It's just so cringy. He loves to say crazy. He's like, oh, I knew you were crazy, crazy, crazy. And he just says crazy over and over again. Such a downgrade, man. Then we get introduced to the main game of this film, Bobby. He's on a talk show talking about how he survived the Jigsaw trap, but he never actually did. He's lying about being inside a trap, and his whole team knows about it apart from his wife, and they're doing a press tour. He's got a book that he's selling and all this. So he's making money off the story. And once again, these are bad characters. It's just a complete downgrade. From all the characters we had, Jeff and William and all that, to this, I don't care about any of them. I really don't care about any of them. And that's nothing to do with the actor. The actor's fine. It's just, I don't know what it is about this film. Is it because it was rushed? It was supposed to be 2 films, the 3D. Everything just seems you go from Saw 6 being amazing to this. It's oh my god. It's just from bad for worse. We get a dream sequence with Jill where she's dreaming about being tied up inside a train track. Hoffman's there is the only thing wrong with killing you, I can only do it once. And then he sets off this spike thing and it goes right into her and her body just explodes, and then she wakes up because obviously it's a dream. Now we've had dream sequences before in Saw 3 in the director's cut when Amanda was dreaming of Adam, but this is just completely out of place. Oh my god. I'll give this film credit for that though. It is fast paced. There's always something happening. We go from that to the car garage trap with Chester Bennington, the lead singer from Linkin Park, who I love Linkin Park and rest in peace Chester. But basically this trap, him and his friends and his girlfriend, they're all racist, and he's glued to the back of his car seat. He's got to pull his back out and pull this lever before the car sets off. His girlfriend's underneath the wheels, his friend's attached to the back, and his other friend's on the door. So he's got a minute, and you hear Chester scream. Chester's amazing at screaming, he is, and he's screaming in pain and agony, and he can't reach it in time. So the car's on 70 miles an hour. It comes down, the wheel just crushes his girlfriend's head, 3D effects all over, pulls the guy's fucking face and arms off and then crashes into the other dude and he goes flying out the window screen, so they're all dead. From there we go to the Jigsaw survivor group and we see like past survivors from like 5 and 6 and stuff like that, and obviously Bobby's there with cameras to try and sell like his book tour. But then we get a flashback to like these new people inside, like this woman was in an abusive relationship with a man or something, and they both wake up hanging on like this wire, and then she has to slap him and he has to fall, and it's like, well, how the fuck did you both wake up holding on to this wire? That makes no sense. That does not make any sense whatsoever, unless they started the trap off and then he came over. But the way they phrase it, it's like they both woke up just holding on. Bobby shows the scars on his chest and we see Dr. Gordon in the background, and he makes his second appearance of the film. He comes out and you can tell this isn't the same Dr. Gordon from the first film, you know, apart from missing a foot obviously, but he's more like sinister with the way he's talking, and you can tell he suspects Bobby that he's lying. He's got an attitude against him, and the slow clap that he's giving and everything like that. You can tell Gordon's evil here, man. We get a little comment from Bobby and his mate, and he's like, should we worry about the guy? He's like, no, he's been coming to these meetings for years. So there's a little backstory for Gordon. He's been attending these Jigsaw survivor meetings for years. Then outside that place, Bobby gets kidnapped, of course, and when he wakes up, he's inside a cage and he's got a time limit to save his wife. So he has to like swing and get out of the cage. And you know, even this game, it's just ridiculous. It really is. Jill gets put inside a safe house and we get even more cringy acting from Gibson. And he gets sent a video from Hoffman. And this is how lazy this thing is. Like, obviously Hoffman wanted him to recognize this, but he stood like in a black background with one thing behind him. Obviously you're gonna notice that thing straight away. How stupid is Gibson? It's obviously a trap, but he's like, eventually he's like, oh yeah, I know where that place is. Like, yeah, no shit, there's only one thing behind him. Clearly you're gonna notice that straight away. I love it. Hoffman goes from like outsmarting Strom to this guy. This guy is so stupid, it's ridiculous. So the next part of Bobby's game is publicist is inside a trap, and she's got like a key down her throat, and the more noise that she makes, these pipes are going to come in closer until eventually they're going to pierce her neck. So of course she makes too much noise and she gets punctured. Bobby's like, why couldn't you just shut the fuck up? Then we get a flashback to John meeting Bobby at his book signing, and this is the only time we see John until the end, so you best enjoy it. He's got a backwards hat on. He's like, hello fellow kids, trying to blend in, but obviously he knows, he's like, oh yeah, with a hatred, without a hatred, doesn't matter. And at the end he's like, yeah, I don't need this, we've already met. And then literally that's the only thing we get with John. We needed more John inside this film, we really did, man. Like, I understand why they didn't put too much of him in, because they were trying to do 2 films, and eventually, well, we'll get to that when we get to it, but still, John needed to be inside this film, man, no doubt. The next part of Bobby's game, Billy comes crashing through the window, and his lawyer's inside the room, and basically it's like spikes gonna go through her eyes and mouth, and he has to like pull these things up and get stabbed inside the side. And once again, this is all made just for 3D, because you get the shots of the things slowly coming in, and eventually, of course, she dies as well, because, you know, everyone's got to die, and I don't care about these characters anyway, so I don't care if they live or die, I really don't. And then from there, Bobby goes through his next trap with his friend who knows all his secrets. Basically, like, he's blind, and Bobby's got to like lead him across this like walkway with barely any floor, and he has to get a key and throw it to him. He throws the key to him, but obviously he drops it, and that makes him die, and he just gets hanged. He just hung, whatever the word is. He just gets left there, basically. Then we get a flashback to Gibson being saved by Hoffman from an attack, and he just shoots the homeless guy who attacked him. He's like, next time, shoot first. And it's like, when does this take place? Is it before Hoffman becomes part of Jigsaw's game, or is it after? Because if it was before, I doubt Hoffman was going to be like this. I do like how they link it back, because Gibson's like, I reported him for brutality, but you got a promotion instead. And, you know, even in Saw 6, John asks Hoffman, like, do you like how brutality feels, Mark, and stuff. So that, you know, that links up a little bit. We go back to Bobby, and he has to remove 2 of his teeth, which have writing on him, but the writing's on the side of the tooth, so I don't know how the fuck they managed that. To get to his wife, he has to pull them out. Like I said, it seems kind of weird. That I don't know how that even works, but whatever. He gets in there and his wife's like chained up, and he has to, there's all this electrical fence around her, so he can't get to her. He has to pull himself up and connect this wire, but it's the same game that he lied about. He has to put the hooks through his chest. He nearly gets there, but eventually he falls down. Cops arrive at the location, but they go inside this room and he just get gassed out, so they're dead. And Gibson goes to where the car garage trap was before. He finds this hidden room in there, but they all get gunned down in slow motion by this turret, and it's like, Okay, where did Hoffman even get that? But alright, cool, whatever. And there's a little bit of a twist. Hoffman swaps his body with the people from the garage, so he's inside the police station. He kills the coroner from the last film, and he just goes full Michael Myers mode. I think he kills like 12 people altogether. He just stabs them all inside the throat, which, like I said last film, in Saw 6 it was realistic, it was believable, because he killed Erickson, the lab tech, and Perez in a small confined area. This is a fucking police station with a load of people in there, and he's just taking them all out like he's Michael Myers. I mean, it's cool to watch, I do enjoy it, but it's not believable in the slightest. Like I said, Bobby fails and his wife is dead. She's gonna be burnt alive. She gets dragged down and this furnace turns into a pig, and it's like, what the fuck, who even made this? Why does it look like a pig? And the only innocent person inside this entire thing dies. Like, she had no idea Bobby was lying, the rest of them did, and she dies. Like, what? I understand punishing Bobby because, you know, he's still alive, but still, like, she was completely innocent. She did nothing wrong, and she gets burnt, like, probably the most severe one. Like, what? Like I said, Hoffman kills like 10 people and he gets to jail, and he ends up beside like the evidence room with all like previous traps, which is pretty cool. And he sees the reverse bear trap 2.0, but then he sees the original, decides to use that, and he puts it on Jill. And we finally see the reverse bear trap in action, because this is an execution. She doesn't try and like bust out like Hoffman did. Her fucking jaw just gets ripped wide open. Hoffman says game over. Jill's dead. What the hell was Jill's way out? John said this at the last film, don't worry, I'll provide a way out for you. What was it? Drop the tape off to Gordon, which we'll find out in a minute, and then just get killed. What? I thought you'd give her some money or something and, you know, tell her to run, but nope. That's Jill's way out. Literally get your face ripped open. So yeah, Hoffman leaves the police station, goes back to his hideout. He's on the news now, everyone knows it's him, so he's burning the like all the evidence and everything. About to leave, and he gets ambushed by 3 pigs, and you're like, wait, what? One of them takes the mask off and it's Dr. Gordon, and Hoffman's like, what the fuck? And then we start seeing like how it makes Jill drop the tape off inside the last film, which was the Dr. Gordon. Like I said, inside an hospital, who could it have been? And we see John on the tape, and he's like, Dr. Gordon, you're my greatest asset. Without your help, my work over the last few years could not be possible. And we see like all the times Gordon's help, like Saw 2 with the eye, Saw 3 suggesting Lynn, Saw 4 like, you know, sewing up that guy's eye as well. And in Saw 5 he wrote the letter to Hoffman, I know who you are. And then he says there's a lot of places I've shown you, but there's one that's the most meaningful. We hear Hello Zep start playing, and we go back to the bathroom. Oh yeah, Hoffman's chained up in there, Gordon's coming in. He tries getting to the saw, but Gordon gets to it first. He's like, I don't think so, and he throws it out, get a 3D shot, of course. And then I love Hoffman's scream. He's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? You can't do this to me, no. And Gordon's like, game over, slams the door shut. And that was the end of the franchise. Yeah, Quinn said that was the end of the franchise for a long while. The 3 pig masks at the end, they've said on the commentary that that was Brad and Ryan from the opening trap at the beginning. And he also said that Hoffman dies inside the bathroom, but they can always, you know, rewrite that. This film, it's definitely the worst inside the franchise for me. I'm going to give Saw 3D the final chapter 4 out of 10. Like, wasted potential, man. You go from the best film in the series, Saw 6, to this. Like I said, the beginning and the end are the best part for me. More of John, less of the stupid characters. Wish we could have seen Gordon and John's relationship more, because obviously, you know, they've been working together for years. That would have been a cool thing to see. And obviously, I think Gordon and Hoffman have had some interaction as well, because Hoffman knows who Gordon is. I would have loved to see that. I wish we got the 2 films, but Paranormal Activity ruined it all. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about Saw 3D inside the comments. Next week, we'll talk about Jigsaw, which came out 7 years later. Make sure you like and subscribe. Until next week, peace out in a bit.